Hey there. The most interesting thing today is obviously the mass blackout in the Iberian Peninsula, taking out all of Spain, all of Portugal, and parts of the south of France. The failure seems to have been within Spain, and for instance, it did not impact the Canary Islands, which belong to Spain, but are really off West Africa and are autonomous in their electricity supply. So it did impact Portugal because Portugal depends on Spain, and south of France does too, to a large degree. So then when the failure started, France cut them off and got their own systems back online, started to then feed northern Spain, and then southern Spain was originally fed by Morocco. Now, what is interesting about the failure is that they blamed it on some, freak atmospheric change. Now, I can tell you that the weather here in Spain is exactly as it is supposed to be in springtime. There has been no rapid temperature change, and it's interesting that you've had that the redundancies failed, that the failure was so systemic throughout the system, and that it looked to be something sort of mechanical, and yet those safeguards to isolate parts of the system failed. I don't want to speak out of turn or jump the gun, but Pedro Sanchez, the president of the government here, did say that he did contact NATO. That would be to maybe analyze whether there had been a cyber attack, although he very specifically avoided that term. But allow me to remind you that some cyber attacks are designed to look very much like mechanical failures. Try and remember the attack uh, on the uranium purification for the bomb, the nuclear bomb program in Iran. It looked like those turbines had a mechanical failure and broke apart, but that's because there was a bug that had been introduced. We now know documentaries have been made about it, so it's out there. I mean, it's on Netflix even. That specifically targeted certain machines that had certain components of certain models. So if you have a lot of those models of those machines throughout Madrid, that could explain why it could both look like a mechanical failure and yet also explain why you didn't have the normal redundancy shutdowns. And attribution, as you know, is one of the most difficult things in cyber attacks and was why it makes it so fascinating. So let's watch this space. Thank you.